Nothing in this world, not sex, not food, can top just casually going for an hour hike with a bear. Nobody else in the world can do this. Nobody else in the world does this.
At Point of View Farm in West Virginia, 74-year-old Joel Rosenthal lives with 5 black bears.
Look at you, Boo.
He's been rescuing wild bears for the past 7 years, raising them inside his house and keeping them safe from hunters.
I take naps with them. We play in the house. They get fed in the house. And then as they grow, they're moved to larger facilities outside. It's really special to be able to hike around with 2 or 3 bear cubs that are just following me. So I really have to pinch myself all the time because I can't believe that I'm really, really doing this, that I have this relationship with these animals.
Once the hunting season has passed and the bears are old enough, Joel releases them back into the wild.
They don't go off and become a nuisance. They don't break into people's homes. They don't attack people. They just go off and become wild bears, which is exactly what they're genetically programmed to do. I've had 20 bears altogether. My guess is that almost all of them have been killed by hunters. I try to separate my emotions from it. I have to divorce from my brain any accumulation of grief, knowing that, again, most if not all the bears that I've released are dead.
People often contact Joel when they find bears injured or abandoned in the hope that he'll take them in. And the first bear came into his care in 2009.
Rose is almost 7 years old. She was raised in the house, and a couple years ago she had a cub right here, and I played with the cub every day until she went off with the cub into the forest. But she's probably about 300 pounds. But I gotta lock her up, keep her from being shot. While she and I have this special relationship, if I were to let her out right now, she wouldn't bother anybody, but once she's off in the woods, she's just a wild bear. So this is Waffles. Waffles almost 2 years old. He's probably close to 200 pounds, and he is such a sweetie. Waffles is locked up because instead of going off and being a real bear for the summer, he decided that he wanted to be in the house all the time.
Joel lives deep in the forests on the deserted side of a large river. This means he can go months on end without seeing another human being.
So this is all part of Point of View Farm. Non-profit charitable organization, a wildlife sanctuary, 262 acres, and I'm the only one living on this side of the river for miles. I live all alone. I live miles from the nearest human being. I sometimes go a month or more, 2 months, without ever seeing another human being, and I'm a happy camper.
Joel predominantly feeds his bears with meat, but sometimes treats them to something a little bit different.
Waffles likes peanut butter, but Rose does not, so she doesn't get any peanut butter. I give those 3 bears some of this meat, but actually I've been cutting back a little bit because the temperature's getting cold. I feed them several times a day. I want them to get used to me. I want them to become bound to me, so that we have this special relationship, which makes the entire process of raising them and eventually releasing them a lot easier. I prefer any animal to humans.
While Joel has never been attacked by one of his bears, he realizes the threat they pose due to their sheer size.
Well, I consider bears to be very, very safe. All the statistics bear that out. regardless of anything I am prejudiced about. Bears are wonderful animals. I've never been attacked by a bear. We're talking about a 200 or 300 pound animal who is stronger than 10 human beings and quicker than a rattlesnake. And yet here I am as the doting mother trying to discipline a huge linebacker. There's a likelihood, at the very least, I'm going to get scratched or injured a little bit, but it's not out of malice, it's not out of an attack. I'm respectful because they are wild animals, despite the fact that I've raised them. Come on, Sarah. Come on, Coote. Come here. I get a lot of attention on my Facebook page. Joel Rosenthal. I put up lots of pictures of the animals, videos of the animals. There are people from all over the world who now follow the exploits that happen here at Point of View Farm. Is this my boy? There's no doubt about it that my raising, caring for, interacting with, and releasing bears into the environment has been very, very special. I'm 74 years old now. This is the culmination of my lifelong dream to have a place like this. And it's all happening. Here they come again. Come on, Boog! Look at you guys. Look at all three of you.